I agreed to open our relationship because my girlfriend wanted it, and it wrecked her life. Original post. My girlfriend, 24F, and I, 27M, have been together for 5 years. We started dating back in high school, but when I went off to college, we broke up because I thought she didn't like me anymore. Later, she confessed that she ended things because she knew I needed to experience college life. Meanwhile, her strict mother locked her down after discovering she had a boyfriend and lost her virginity. She wasn't allowed to hang out with friends or go anywhere. Even when she went to college, her mother's grip remained strong due to financial dependency. During those years, I was dating around, enjoying my freedom, but always missed her. When we reconnected, she shared tales of her mother's strictness, while I shared my college adventures. We moved in together in 2016, and life seemed to be on track. However, over the past year, she began expressing a desire to explore new things. Although it made me jealous, I understood her need to make up for lost time. The first time we discussed opening our relationship, it was a disaster. The guy she was interested in turned out to be a total jerk, so she backed out. Recently, she met someone at work and wanted to explore a connection with him. They've been talking a lot and seem to be heading towards something more, although they haven't had sex yet. Meanwhile, I've been on dating apps, but I realize that I don't care about anyone else. I just want to be with her, and it hurts when she spends time with him, especially on weekends when I'm free. Every time I voice my feelings, she offers to close our relationship, saying she needs to scratch this itch or she'll always wonder. It's a lonely place to be, and I'm unsure what to do. I have a therapy appointment coming up, and I hope it will help. Update 1. We opened our relationship, and now it's falling apart. It's been several months since we opened our relationship, and it's been a roller coaster. My girlfriend quickly found multiple partners, while I struggled to find anyone I connected with. Therapy helped me communicate better, and I eventually met someone who became a good friend and sexual partner. Unlike my girlfriend, I need a deeper connection before I can be intimate. She finds it easier to form quick, casual connections, which has created a significant imbalance. As our open relationship progressed, I noticed disturbing changes in my girlfriend. She became jealous of my bond with my new partner. She would call incessantly or try to seduce me right before I was supposed to meet my new partner. Her behavior showed a disturbing pattern. Before opening our relationship, she was responsible and driven, but she began to regress. She spent her money on tattoos and piercings, which I didn't mind at first, but then she started antagonizing her supervisors, arriving hours late, and eventually stopped attending classes. She even took a leave of absence from her job for 2 months. Now, she's practically living with one of her partners, spending days at a time with him. She orders food delivery using my money and does nothing productive at home. Whenever I bring up the financial strain or our relationship issues, she shuts down, accuses me of imagining things, or claims that I'm always calling her a problem. She quit her job without having anything else lined up. Our intimacy has vanished. We haven't been intimate in nearly 2 months, and she's always making excuses. When I try to address our issues, she threatens to break up or claims that I'm never satisfied. She says she wants to marry me and can't imagine being with anyone else, but her actions suggest otherwise. My new partner is the opposite of my girlfriend. She is mature, responsible, and balanced. She embodies the stability I crave, while my girlfriend seems to seek mindless fun and availability. We discussed couples therapy, but my girlfriend doesn't seem genuinely interested. I'm at a crossroads, unsure if I can stay in this relationship. Opening our relationship felt like a gamble at first, a decision fraught with both excitement and trepidation. Initially, it seemed like a thrilling adventure into uncharted territories, but it quickly became a journey that tested the very fabric of our relationship. It was supposed to be a way for her to experience the freedom she missed out on, but it turned into a Pandora's box of unexpected consequences. In the beginning, I was supportive of her needs. I thought that allowing her to explore these new experiences would bring us closer, that it would make her appreciate what we had even more. Instead, it highlighted deep-seated issues and personal struggles that neither of us had anticipated. Her desire to explore outside our relationship made me confront my own insecurities and jealousy. I had to grapple with feelings of inadequacy and the fear of losing her. My therapist played a crucial role during this tumultuous period. Through our sessions, I learned to articulate my feelings without anger and resentment. I realized that my feelings were valid, and it was okay to set boundaries even in an open relationship. I started understanding that my discomfort wasn't a sign of weakness but a natural response to a situation that tested my values and emotional stability. Despite my efforts to communicate openly and honestly, the imbalance in our relationship grew. Her behavior became more erratic, and it was as if she was regressing into a more reckless version of herself. I watched her make impulsive decisions that put a strain on our relationship and our finances. It was painful to see someone I loved and cared for so deeply become a shadow of the person I once knew. It felt like she was slipping away, not just from me, but from herself. Our attempts to maintain intimacy became increasingly strained. The more she immersed herself in her new experiences, the more disconnected we became. It was as if we were living parallel lives, barely intersecting. The intimacy that once defined our relationship was replaced by awkward silences and emotional distance. I found myself longing for the connection we once had, but every attempt to rekindle it was met with resistance or indifference. Her jealousy of my new partner was both ironic and disheartening. She had wanted this open relationship, but when I found someone who genuinely cared for me and respected my boundaries, she couldn't handle it. Her attempts to sabotage my meetings with my new partner only highlighted her insecurity and lack of fulfillment. It was a glaring contradiction. She sought freedom but couldn't cope with the freedom I found. As I grew closer to my new partner, I realized that I needed a different kind of relationship. One that was built on mutual respect, understanding, and a shared vision for the future. My new partner provided a sense of stability and companionship that I had been missing. She was a stark contrast to the chaos that my life had become. With her, I rediscovered the joy of simple things, shared laughter, meaningful conversations, and a sense of calm that I had long forgotten. When my ex-girlfriend received the call from her mother, it was a pivotal moment. It opened her eyes to her own issues, and she expressed a desire to change. But by then, I had already begun to see the path forward without her. Her sudden decision to seek therapy and take on more responsibilities came too late. I had already decided that I needed to move on, not just for my sake, but for hers as well. Breaking up was a heart-wrenching decision. Despite everything, I still cared about her and wished her the best. But I knew that staying together would only prolong our mutual unhappiness. It was a bittersweet ending to a relationship that had once held so much promise. We had grown apart, and it was time to acknowledge that we could no longer meet each other's needs. Update 2. Taking the leap. A week after reflecting and talking to friends, I decided to break up with her. We couldn't find time to talk in person because she was rarely home, so we discussed it over the phone. I explained why I was ending things and what would need to change for us to consider getting back together. She cried and promised to work on herself, but her actions didn't match her words. It was nearing the end of our lease, and I found a new place with a roommate. She assumed she would move with me, but I decided against it. Her rant about my friends, who supported my decision to break up, solidified my choice. She ended up moving in with the guy she had been seeing. After the breakup, she kept in contact, complaining about how awful her new situation was and occasionally offering to get back together. Her new relationship mirrored the toxicity she had with me, and she realized how her actions had affected me. I returned to therapy, stabilized my finances, and started dating the girl I was seeing before. This new relationship is the easiest I've ever had. We communicate well, share similar values, and have a balanced dynamic. It took some time to break old habits of codependency, but I'm now more productive and engaged in my hobbies. I've found peace in a relationship where I'm genuinely appreciated and where there's mutual respect. Update 3. Settling into a new life. It's been a few months since the breakup, and life has significantly improved. The initial chaos has subsided, and I've settled into a routine that works for me. My new relationship is thriving, and I'm finally able to focus on myself and my interests without the constant stress of my previous relationship. My ex-girlfriend has reached out a few times, mainly to complain about her current situation or to ask for advice. Each interaction was a reminder of the emotional toll the past year had taken on both of us. I had to be firm in setting boundaries, understanding that it was essential for my healing and her growth. She needed to confront her own issues and take responsibility for her choices, just as I had to for mine. I've reconnected with old friends and rebuilt a support system that had been neglected during the turmoil of our open relationship. These friendships have provided a grounding influence and helped me regain a sense of normalcy. It's refreshing to have people in my life who genuinely care about my well-being and who support my decisions. Financial stability has returned as I no longer have to support someone who wasn't contributing equally. I was able to invest in projects that mattered to me and to build a future that aligned with my values and aspirations. It was a relief to have control over my finances and to see the tangible results of my efforts. Reflecting on the past year, I realized that the open relationship was a catalyst for change. It forced me to confront my deepest fears and insecurities and ultimately led to a journey of self-discovery and growth. I learned that it's crucial to set boundaries and communicate openly in any relationship. Compromise is essential, but it should never come at the cost of your well-being or happiness. My new relationship embodies these lessons. It's built on mutual respect, shared values, and a willingness to grow together. My partner understands and respects my boundaries, and we share a vision for the future. It's a stark contrast to the chaos that my life had become, and I'm grateful for the stability and companionship she brings. Looking back, I can see that the open relationship exposed underlying issues that were already present. It wasn't the cause of our breakup, but it accelerated the inevitable. It forced us to confront our differences and to make difficult decisions about our future. Final thoughts. Embracing the future. As I move forward, I'm embracing the lessons I've learned and applying them to my new relationship and my life. I'm focusing on building a future that aligns with my values and aspirations. I'm committed to nurturing my relationships, both romantic and platonic, and to maintaining a healthy balance between my personal and professional life. My journey has taught me that growth often comes from the most challenging experiences. It's through adversity that we discover our strengths and learn to navigate life's complexities. I'm grateful for the journey, even with its ups and downs, because it has led me to a place of greater understanding and fulfillment. To anyone going through a similar experience, know that you are not alone. It's okay to seek help, to set boundaries, and to prioritize your well-being. Healing takes time, but it's possible to emerge stronger and more resilient. Here's to new beginnings and the promise of a brighter future. Thank you for being part of my journey.